The case Texas versus Johnson is referred to as the flag burning case, and it has to deal with the First Amendment. The First Amendment allows us to have freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and the right to petition. In 1984, Gregory Lee Johnson was part of the Communist Party USA, and he was participating in a protest of the Republican National Convention outside of the Dallas City Hall, where the convention nominated President Ronald Reagan and Vice President George H.W. Bush for re-election. It was a third-party GOP presidential nominating convention and the first Republican convention held in Texas. It was also the only convention of either party held in Dallas. President Reagan and Gregory Lee Johnson have totally different ideologies, which is why he was protesting. Reagan's popularity had an adverse effect after the early 1980 recession, and he became the first incumbent president since Lyndon B. Johnson in 1964 to run without serious opposition in the primary. Outside of City Hall, Johnson was burning a flag while his fellow protesters were chanting, "America, red, white, and blue, we spit on you." He was arrested and charged with violating a Texas statute. It prevented the desecration of a venerated object that included the American flag. When he went to trial court, Johnson was convicted and sentenced to a year in prison along with a $2,000 fine. He then went on to the Court of Appeals, which hears challenges and district court decisions from courts located within its circuit, as well as appeals from decision of federal administrative agencies. The Court of Appeals had agreed with the trial court and affirmed it. He then went on to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, where he found success, and they reversed his punishment, saying that it violated the First Amendment. The state of Texas then appealed to the Supreme Court. Texas was trying to argue that the state was seeking to prevent breaches of the peace and to preserve the flag as a symbol of a nationhood and national unity. But the court had rejected the application of the fighting words doctrine and the governmental interest in protecting a symbol. The fighting word doctrine allows government to limit speech when it is likely to incite immediate violence or retaliation by the recipients of the words. Although this doctrine remains a notable exception to the speech protected by the First Amendment, the Supreme Court has limited the scope of this doctrine when the government seeks to restrict free speech. The result of this case landed in Gregory Lee Johnson's favor with the reasoning of a 5-4 vote. The dissenting group of justices were William Rehnquist, Byron Raymond White, John Paul Stevens, and Sandra Day O'Connor. They had dissented because the unique position of the flag justifies a governmental prohibition against flag burning in the way Respondent Johnson did. The majority opinion justices were William J. Brennan Jr., Thurgood Marshall, Harry Blackmun, Antonin Scalia, and Anthony Kennedy. The majority of the court sided with Johnson because flag burning constitutes a form of symbolic speech. It is protected by the First Amendment, and the freedom of speech is protecting actions that people might find offensive. The majority had to say that the Texas law discriminated upon viewpoint, although the law punished actions such as flag burning that might arouse anger in others, is specifically exempted from prosecution actions that were respectful of venerated objects, such as burning and burying a worn out flag. The majority said that the government could not discriminate in this manner based solely upon viewpoint. Justice Stevens had argued that the flag's unique status as a symbol of national unity outweighed symbolic speech concerns and that the government could lawfully prohibit flag burning.